Okay guys, welcome back to my After Effects tutorial. Today I will be showing beginners how to learn After Effects. I will be teaching them the basics that they need to know. Just if you're a beginner, stay here. But if you are a pro or a senior or you're a junior, you know After Effects, you can leave. This is straight for beginners, okay? So the first thing you need to create a new composition. Okay, new project, new composition. You can type here the name of your composition. I want to name this as Man Tutu. That's just, for instance, this is just leave this one on HTV 1080 by 1920. The width, or you can change it here, but this is exactly size for videos in YouTube, but you can change whatever you want, whatever they ask you, or you can customize here the size, but usually you have to keep this like this. Okay, advance and then leave here 3D render. If you are making a 3D, you have to change here into classic 3D, but now we'll be creating a 2D. So here is it, the full resolution. Just leave it. Time start duration, you can put your duration time. Mine, I will leave it here in 18 seconds. Then choose the background color. You can choose whatever color you like. Okay, then click OK. Then click OK. Then here is your project. Here is where your footage will be visible, will be displayed, and leave here under standards. Don't mess around with this thing unless you are like me, a professional. Okay, then here is a timeline. Here's the project window where you drag your projects. Here's the composition where you see how the things compose. Okay, the easy way is just to drag the image into a project window. Okay, we just drag the image into project window. Okay, then here's the image of a project window. We had already this man. This is our composition man. Okay, let's drag the image on top of the timeline. Then it will be visible on the composition. Okay, it's selected. These dots, they mean that this image is selected. Okay, if you just click here, the image is not selected. If you click it, yeah, then this small arrow over here, there is a small arrow down. Then turn on this arrow, bring it down, then turn on transformations. Then here the transformation, this is an anchor point. An anchor point, will leave the anchor point here in the center. Okay, this is a position, which means from one position to another position with positioning objects. For instance, let me take it this image to here, then set a keyframe. This watch, we call it keyframe. This thing like a watch, call it keyframe for videos. Okay, set a keyframe on this thing. Then you can see there's already a keyframe here. Then move a timeline to here, and then move the object to here. Okay, already set its keyframe because we said from this point of position to this point it should be here. Okay, let's preview if it's working. Yeah, cool. It's working. Yeah, cool. From this position to that position, there's a position. Scale is like to resize it. You want it to be small or you want it to be big. Scale it down or scale it up, scale it down or scale it up. You can just put a number, just click and type a number you want, but I'll leave it like this. I like to just left click on my mouse, then drag and then resize it according to what I want. This is scale. Rotation, obvious, we rotate here. Okay, we haven't set any keyframe because we didn't click these watches. The watch is something. Opacity, it says itself. You want to bring it to 0, then it disappears, or you want to change it to 100, then it disappears. 100, then it will be visible. Okay, these are the transform. That's what we're going to use here. Okay, these are just basics of After Effects. Okay. Okay, let's say this thing, let's keep it to 0 here. Yeah, let's say this thing starts here, and then after this it must disappear. Then this means we had to set a keyframe for opacity. Just leave it in 200, just click a keyframe, then move a timeline a little bit, then just type 0. You don't have to set a keyframe again. Once you set a keyframe once, you don't have to repeat the keyframe again, because on that line, on this line, the keyframe will be repeated by itself once you click something, or once you change the numbers, or once you did something. Okay, I just wanna keep it to 0. Okay, let's preview. Okay, now it's like this. Yeah, it disappears. Then after this, it disappears. Then after this keyframe, we add what we like. Maybe we add text. Here's a text tool, and press text and write man 22. Okay, then go back to selection tool. Is a selection tool, it's a home, but the useful tool is selection tool, the tools, the shape tools, and text tools, and pen tool, and camera. But it's more simple, guys. Now we're on man composition. Okay, then let's bring man over here in the center. You can change the color of man here. If like we bring it into whatever color you want, you can change the font, yeah, or whatever you want. You can change it here, and this is aligned. You can see mine is aligned in the center paragraph. Okay, here the text, you can change the size, or you can just open up this little arrow, then go to transform, then scale it up, okay, here's here. Okay, from here, when the timeline is, we're gonna set the opacity to 0, click a keyframe, then click 0, and it's 0 a little bit, move the timeline, then after this we set the keyframe to 100. Okay, let's preview and see. Man, yeah, then after this, then you decide, okay, in 4 seconds I will set the keyframe. You should click here now, click here, because you want to set the keyframe. Click here, then move a little bit the second, then you write 0 here, then you set the keyframe automatic. Okay, here's it. Then you add something, yeah, until it's done. Then now go over here and click file. On file, now want to export it as video MP4, then go to render queue, add to render queue. Now we're on render, or you can just come here and click on render and render queue. It's render queue. Then on output 2, confirm that output 2, okay, this is file name, is going to be where on the desktop in a QuickTime move. Okay, it's going to be saved as a QuickTime move. Okay, then after that you have to import it to media encoder to make it a MP4. Then yeah, let's click save, then you click render, it will render, then you go to your file where you choose the file to be. Okay guys, those are the basics for After Effects. Okay, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment. Yeah, see you next time. Stay blessed.